What's up, everybody? We are just past week 1, going into week 2. Waivers cleared. You've got your waivers in. Who did you get? Who did you not get? And we'll take a look into week 2. We'll take a look into some of these games. We'll take a look into some of the players here who could be a good matchup, who could not be, who we high on, who we not high on. So we'll take a look at all the games. And I mean, the first game is my Vikings, just a shitty loss last week to Tampa. That was just bad. But going against the Eagles, and Eagles are at home, so it is probably going to be a very rough game. I know Bradbury is out, so for the Vikings, I mean, all we really have is the pass game now. At this point, we are a passing team now more than ever. Just relying less on the run, obviously, with no Dalvin Cook. So Kirk is going to air it out. I mean, Justin Jefferson. You've got Addison, who should be more involved this week. He wasn't involved as much last week as, of course, you want him to. But you can't forget he is a rookie, and these guys are going to be eased in. So I expect him to play a little bit more this week. I know Osborne was ahead of him last week, but I expect him to get some more work this week. So Justin Jefferson, of course, we're firing up. Obviously, you're firing him up every week. Jordan Addison, I'm okay with playing in the flex. I mean, we're going to have to pass the football. Like I said, Bradbury is out, so I think the extra attention to JJ and Hawkinson kind of frees up Addison there. So Addison, I think, will be a fine flex play with Bradbury being out, going against that Eagles defense. We're going to have to throw the football, so I'm okay with him there. Madison, I'm a little less high on. I'm not as high on Madison for this particular game against the Eagles. So depending on what your options are, you could look to sit him this week. Kirk Cousins, you're pretty much firing him up if you have him in super flex leagues, of course. One QB leagues, you may or may not be starting him this week, depending on what backups you have. Going into the Eagles, you've got Jalen Hurts, who wasn't great last week. Kenneth Gainwell is going to be out for this game, so it's going to be interesting to see Swift, if he gets more work this week. Disappointing last week, just barely played. Gainwell, for some reason, just got the majority of the carries there. But Gainwell's going to be out this week. So is Swift going to be getting that extra work this week, or are we going to be disappointed again? I mean, it has to be somewhat risky, but at the same time, I mean, are they just going to plug in Rashard Penny? Is it going to be Penny and Swift? Is Boston Scott? I mean, Boston Scott barely played last week. So I think Swift is really still a risk, but he's one of those, high risk, high reward. So depending on your team, depending on your opponent, I would determine whether to start Swift or not. So and if anybody has Swift, let me know. I mean, are you comfortable? Are you comfortable actually starting Swift? 'Cause I still don't know if I am. And if you got better options, then you can look elsewhere. Devonta Smith, of course, you're firing up. AJ Brown, of course, you're firing up. Hopefully, Go Dirt has a better game this week after that debacle last week. So Vikings defense is not good. So I expect the Eagles to be able to pass the football. This could be somewhat of a high scoring game, especially with Bradbury being out. So maybe it's a shootout. That's what we'd hope for there. KJ Osborne, you're not playing unless you're in the deepest of leagues. Maybe start 11, start 12. Other than that, that's pretty much it for the Vikings Eagles there. Then you go into the Packers Falcons. Like, disappointing with the Falcons, exciting kind of for Green Bay. Jordan Love actually looked pretty good last week, 245 with the 3 tutties. So Is Christian Watson going to play? That's going to be the real question. Is Christian Watson actually going to get on the field, or is Jordan Love going to have to be without Watson? And Aaron Jones is dealing with a hamstring as well. So you know, is he going to be okay to play? Apparently, he was okay. He could have came back in the game last week. Apparently, he was okay, but these things can linger on the ham, especially for older guys. So hopefully Aaron Jones will be all right. Ethan, what's up, Ethan? How are you, man? Appreciate you. What happened in week one? Let me know. Did you take a win? Did you take a L? Who'd you have? But Aaron Jones, if he plays, of course you're firing him up. AJ Dillon, I'd fire up as well. Algier, you got to be able to fire up until further notice. I mean, I don't expect this to happen for the whole season. Don't forget Patterson was out as well. So Patterson wasn't there last week. Does he come back this week? Or when he does come back, do we see some kind of a shift? But I think as the season goes on, Bijan will get more and more work. I mean, you see what he does with the ball in his hands. So Algier for now is still going to be a flex play. I mean, do I expect him to get the carries that he got last week every single game? No, but the game script for last week, they were able to do that going against the Panthers. So they're not going to be able to do that all the time. And then you talk about the Falcons, where Ritter just didn't throw the ball down the field at all. It's almost like he's scared to throw the ball down the field. They don't want him to almost. It's like they don't trust him, just like they didn't trust Mariota last year. It seems like they don't trust Ritter to throw the football. You've got Drake London, you've got Kyle Pitts, both just top first round picks, and you don't even use them. So if Ritter doesn't start throwing the ball well, or as we get into some more games into the season, could we see them switch to Heineke just because he can throw and he just makes them a more of a threat? He makes them a better team. So I don't know. What do you guys think about Ritter? Do you think Ritter finishes the season, for the Falcons? Because this is a pretty good Falcons team offensively and defensively. So, is Ritter going to hold them back? And are they going to be able to figure out that Ritter holds them back, sooner rather than later? So that's going to be interesting. Drake London, I mean, we can't really play him until further notice. If you've got better options, play those options. I mean, he's a wide receiver 4, wide receiver 3 at best right now. Until they can start throwing the football again, it's not going to be the same situation as it was in week one all the time. So maybe we see that change this week. But if you've got some better options, I'm okay with sitting Drake London until further notice. Adam, what's up, Adam? Appreciate you, bro. It's goody. How was your week one, man? Did you take a win? Did you lose? What's your situation? What happened, man? In one of my dynasty leagues, I had J.K. Dobbins and Aaron Rodgers. So that hurt. For the most part, I had a good week for most of my squads. So yeah, we can't start Drake London. Kyle Pitts, I mean, you can start him. That's fine, but he's a tight end, so that's a risk just in general. Um, I mean, do the Packers win this game, or do the Falcons win this game at home? I think with a pretty good Falcons defense, maybe Jordan Love struggles a little bit this game. Maybe it's not all sweet like it was last game, and maybe he struggles a little bit this game. Maybe the Falcons come up on top. I took a win. All right, good stuff, brother. Good stuff. Good stuff. Do you only play in one league? Do you play in like a home league, or do you play in a few different leagues? Bills Raiders. James Cook looked good. He's getting the majority of the work, so you're gonna plug him in easily here. Damian Harris wasn't that involved. Latavius Murray wasn't that involved, so nobody else you're playing in the backfield there. Stephon Diggs is pretty much the only wide receiver that you can play there. Gabe Davis, I mean, in the deepest of formats, but Diggs is really the only one you can feel comfortable with there. Kincaid, of course, at tight end, you can start him as well. move over to the Raiders side. I mean, Jimmy G had a pretty decent day that first week. Pretty decent. Jacoby Myers just went crazy. Apparently, he is going through concussion protocol right now. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Devontae's deal wants something as well. So just something to keep an eye on there. But you're firing up both of those guys. You're firing up both of those guys. Josh Jacobs, of course, we're starting him. Garoppolo only in super flex leagues, of course. We're not starting him in one QB leagues. I think the Bills come out on top here. I think they kind of redeem themselves. Josh Allen, I think, has a great game here. And the one thing with Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs, like we saw last year in that playoff game, how Diggs was on the sideline, how he reacted, and how he treated Josh Allen, which almost just felt like disrespectful. It just felt like he wasn't being a team player. And if you guys saw in this game, at the end on like that last drive where they had a chance to come back and be in this game, on the sideline, he went over to Josh Allen and he was basically telling him, like, don't worry about it. We need you now. Like, this is the time. And that was very, very good and encouraging to see from Stephon Diggs. I feel like he definitely matured from, the situation that happened last year. And he kind of just, egged on his guy. He said, come on, bro. We need you, bro. We need you, man. Rob, what's up, Rob? How are you, man? Want to know for Rob, too. All right. Nice. Good stuff, guys. Good stuff. Good stuff. Adam said he needs some help with his start sit for week 2. All right. Let's take a look. Need to start 3, 1 running back and 2 flex. Najee, Hall, Algier, McLaurin, London, Nico Collins. I'm leaning Najee, Hall, and Collins. Oh, yeah. All right. My bad. All right. Let's take a look at who some of these guys are playing here. Who's Najee playing? So Najee plays the Browns. Brees plays the Cowboys. Algier plays the Packers. McLaurin, London, Collins. So Najee, Hall, Collins. Would it be crazy for me to say Najee, Hall, Algier? Who's the Texans? Texans are playing the Colts. I feel like Algier is kind of almost a must start right now until further notice, like in the flex or RB2 spot. Hard to sit Brees Hall after what he did last week. I mean, he was awesome. Najee, I do think that he'll be better, but it might be a tough Browns defense. Terry just coming off the injury, but going against the Broncos, you don't want him taking that number 1 corner there. Drake London, I don't think we can play until further notice. And Nico's, he's a decent play. He got targeted a lot, but you might go with all 3 of those. Najee, Hall, and Algier, man. I think I'm leaning that way. You could go Collins if you want. I mean, you go Collins if you want. It's almost a wash. So either way. But I'm with you. Either Algier or Collins. Not a dynasty draft. 12-team full PPR. Okay, not dynasty. So redraft. Herbert, CMC, Madison. Okay, AJ Brown, Olave, Higbee, Mike Williams, bench Sutton, Elijah Moore, Nico Collins, Tank Bigsby, Laporta, Roshan. I like that. Purdy, JT's on IR. Okay, okay. Any trades or keep the squad? Let's see. Herbert's good. CMC. You got AJ Brown. You got Olave, Higbee, Mike Williams. Yes, I'd like to probably upgrade the Mike Williams spot. If you can do a Sutton and Mike Williams for somebody to upgrade there, I'll take a look in a second. I like Elijah Moore. I really do like Elijah Moore. But if you can tear up from him, I mean, he had a pretty decent game in that weather. Nico Collins, Bigsby, Laporta. I'm okay with moving Laporta if you want to, or Higby, because I feel like even though you have one of them as backup, you're gonna start one of them probably just every week. Just choose which one you want, and if you can use the other one to cheer up, then I do that. And you got JT on IR, so you could just hold him. So yeah, I'd probably look for an upgrade at the flex spot. That's what I'm gonna be. That's what I'm gonna be looking at. Let's take a look at maybe somebody you can get. Come on. All right, so let's go to PPR. So if we want to upgrade that Mike Williams, and you got to find somebody that likes Mike Williams, but any top 24 kind of guy. Keenan Allen would be a good one. Maybe a Jalen Waddle. He didn't have a great game last game. Anybody that kind of didn't have a great game, maybe that you can get for a little bit cheaper. But find somebody that might need some help at wide receiver that's hurt and that's gonna want to take the 2 for 1. I would say find a team first. I like the stack though. He played 70% of snaps. I mean, yeah, it is a stack. I just don't trust him to stay healthy. I mean, because that's like never happened. So that's my problem with Mike Williams. Is I'd probably want to just play it safer and see if I could get somebody better. If you like him, then keep him and try and upgrade. Then maybe at tight end. Can you go and get a Hawkinson, Andrews, Kelsey? I don't know if you can get Kelsey, but maybe you can get if you can get Hawkinson, that'd be great. Maybe Andrews. He's coming off the injury. You know, maybe you can use a Sutton Higby or a Sutton Laporta. Take advantage of the touchdown that Sutton just scored and upgrade at tight end. Otherwise, you can do that at running back. Take Madison, upgrade Madison. So, that's fine if you like Mike Williams. And keep him then and then try and upgrade at tight end or running back then. You have, some good assets on the bench that you can use. So, yeah, Waddle would definitely be a nice, definitely be a nice one. Otherwise, like I said, just keep him and go after a tight end or running back then. So, hold on, my bad. I missed some questions here. 1 dynasty and 3 redraft. Okay, Adam. Any trades? Cook or Pittman start. Who's Pittman playing? Pittman's playing the Texans. I mean, he had a ton of targets, but it was like later on in the game. It was like the last drive or something like that. Um, and are you talking James Cook or Dalvin Cook? Because if it's James Cook, I do like James Cook. I feel like he's pretty safe. What would you do with a 10 team? Okay, so 10 team is a little more shallow, half PPR. Okay, Purdy, CMC, Gibbs, Amon-Ra, Olave, Laporta, Montgomery at flex. Tough opponent I'm facing for week 2 to see if I need a change. Okay, what's the rest of your team, Rob? I'm deep for my buy. 6 players by week 9. That's all right. Maybe you lose that 1 week, but that means you're at full force for all the rest of the weeks. So look at it that way. Look at the bright side. Um, do you have anybody on the bench that you're asking me to see if you would change with, or I mean, if this is a 10 team, I mean, I don't know about starting Purdy, man. I mean, Purdy's good, but he's just average. Like he doesn't have much upside. And if you're in a 10-team league, I would like to have some upside. Like you need upside to win. You need hammers to win. Purdy's not a he's not a hammer. So, do you have any other options at QB? Like DMC and Gibbs, that's awesome. I'm gonna run Olave, awesome. Laporta, I'm fine with. At tight end position, if it's not a top three tight end, just any tight end will do. I like Laporta. He's in a good offense, so that's fine. Then you got Montgomery at flex. I don't know how great of a flex with Montgomery being in there in a 10 team. I might want to upgrade that as well. So QB and flex position, maybe you can upgrade, but um more importantly, probably QB, because how many times per week or how many weeks is Purdy going to be a top 10 fantasy QB? That means that you're going to lose that position almost every single week. You know what I mean? Jackson said, "What do you think of this trade? Sent away Kelsey and Kenneth Walker. Sent away Kelsey and Kenneth Walker for Pollard, AJ Brown, and Ingram. Pollard, AJ Brown. Okay, I like that. That's not bad. That's fine. I'll take Pollard over Walker. You get AJ Brown and Ingram basically for Kelsey. So yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Ventro, what up, Ventro? Would you trade Sutton, James Conner, and Tank Dell for Pickens and Ramondre Stevenson? Sutton, Tank Dell was not even in this conversation. Sutton and James Conner. Sutton is, yeah, give me Pickens and Ramondre for sure. I'm not a huge Pickens guy, but in this situation, yeah, we're definitely taking Pickens and Ramondre. Smash that, Ventro. I like that. Smash that quick before he changes his mind. We went over some of this. Who do you like at tight end this week? Hunter Henry, Ferguson, or Musgrave? Let me check out who these guys are playing. Hunter Henry. Playing the Dolphins. It's not going to be Musgrave. I like that Ferguson. He didn't do much last week, but he had 7 targets, so that was a good sign. Henry just killed it. Give me Henry. I think maybe against the Dolphins, and they might have to put up some points. They might have to score. They might have to throw a lot. So maybe give me Hunter Henry here with Ferguson second there. Jackson said James. What was that referring to? Herbert Williams and Nakua on my bench. Nakua is if he's on your bench, there's no to just trade him. Trade him to somebody that wants him before Cooper Cup comes back. Just take advantage. If you're not going to play Nakua, which is fine, in a 10-man league, I don't really expect you to play him unless Cooper Cup never comes back, or then maybe Nakua can keep doing his thing. Stafford looked really good, and Nakua just seems like he's Cooper Cup-ish, like he can do kind of those same kind of things. So I do like him, but trade him if he's just going to be on your bench. Get something from him. That's your tier up right there. K9, what up, K9? Should I trade Davis, Wilson, and Mooney for Addison and Brian Robinson? Wilson and Mooney for Addison, and yes, you should. I'll take Addison and Brian Robinson for sure. Gabe Davis is easily replaceable. Jeff Wilson's on IR. We don't even know if he's going to come back at all. And Mooney's okay. But yeah, give me Addison in a high-powered offense where Kirk Cousins is going to throw the ball 650 times probably. And then give me Brian Robertson, who I don't love, but over Wilson and Mooney and Davis. Yeah, absolutely. That's definitely a win. So smash that real quick. Or would you rather have Davis for Brian Robinson straight up? I'm okay with the other one. Give me Addison and Brian Robinson. Give me Addison. I mean, I'd do Davis for Brian Robinson straight up too, but give me the package one because I'll take Addison as well. You want Addison. He's going to start playing more and more as the season goes on. He didn't play a ton that first week, but still scored a touchdown. Ethan said, "How do you feel about Waller's hamstring?" I've never liked Waller. Me and Hammer both have always been off of Waller. Just always is injured. Can never just play. Can never stay healthy. If he's healthy, I mean, he's easily pretty much a top 5 tight end. The problem is he's just never healthy. And as you get older, it gets harder and harder to come back from these hamstring injuries that just linger on. So I'm totally off of Waller. We've been off of Waller. So if you can sell him, then sell him. Take whatever you can get. But yeah, definitely off of Waller. And if you can't get nothing from him, just keep him. I mean, the upside is there. You might as well just keep him. I mean, it's a tight end position. You didn't spend a top 5 draft pick. You didn't pick him in the first 5 rounds, so you'll be okay if he just dies. I mean, he wasn't drafted that high, so you'll be okay if Waller, is not good enough to return. You just pick up one of these guys off of waivers. Go get Ferguson. You know, Started 0-1. Now I have Watson, Myers, and Devontae Adam questionable. Am I jumping the gun thinking I should upgrade on Adams or ride him out with CD 10 team PPR? I mean, 10 team. I mean, unless you can get someone better than Devontae or that you feel is going to finish higher than Devontae, then no, you just keep Devontae. But shop around, see what people are looking for. Devontae is probably gonna. I would think he's probably gonna play unless he's really, really bad. He's a warrior. Myers, I don't know if again. It's still a little bit early. We have to see what happens in the next couple of days. Hopefully, he clears that concussion protocol. Watson, I don't know. We'll see what happens as the week goes on. So no, you're not jumping the gun, but it never hurts to inquire. Like, there's nothing wrong with going out there and and just shopping around. You don't have to accept the trade, but just see what people are willing to give up, see where people's values are at. If you like the trade, you take it. If you don't like the trade, you don't take it. There's nothing wrong with that. So you never know what somebody might give you, until you ask or until you see what's up. I know we don't say it often, but thank you, brother. We appreciate you giving us advice. No, man, I appreciate you. I appreciate you, Rob. I appreciate all you guys out there. Appreciate all of y'all. Smash that like for me. Smash that subscribe if you're new. Hopefully you're enjoying the show. Ask any questions you have in the chat. I will get to all the questions. But Howard Soul, what up? What's up, brother? How you doing tonight, man? I did a trade. All right, let me know, good or bad. I hope it's good, Out Soul. Come on, let's get something good here. Where is it? Where is it? Let me find it. Traded Justin Herbert. All right, trading Justin Herbert. I already don't like it, but okay. Justin Herbert, Adams, and Monty. Oh, you got Mahomes. Okay, never mind. I said that. You got Mahomes, Devonta, and Mostert. My other wide receivers are D Hop, CD Godwin, and OBJ. I also have Kelsey, so I have the stack. Yeah. All right. That's a win. That's a win. I'm okay with Devonta and Adams. I don't have them separated too far apart. I think they'll be, pretty close. You want Mahomes over Herbert for sure. You definitely want probably Monty over Mostert because Mostert can't really stay healthy. But you're getting Mahomes and Devonta. So yes, you definitely got a dub there. You definitely got a dub there. I don't love OBJ. I don't know if you can use something to kind of tear up. I don't know if you have to start him or not, or if he's just on your bench. But what do you think about Devonta Smith for Montgomery? No, I'm not trading Devonta Smith for Montgomery. I'm keeping Devonta Smith. Keeping Devonta Smith. Listen, Gibbs is going to eat into the work, as the season goes on. He's going to get more and more work. Monty's still going to be, valuable, but he's an RB2. That's all, that's what we saw last week is pretty much what you're going to get. We're probably getting 15 to 20 carries and the goal line work. And then Gibbs is going to see, maybe 10 to 15 carries and, the passing work. So, I do still like Monty, but I'm not willing to give up Devonta Smith for Monty. No. Minnesota Vike Queen. Hey, what's up? Loving the Addison respect. Absolutely. You see the AP jersey in the background. Big Vikings fan. You know, got the little fan cave thing over there. So yeah, big Viking fan here. But yeah, Addison looked good. And he'll continue to get better. But we need to win. I mean, Kirk had he had a good game. Justin Jefferson just torches defenses, but he doesn't score touchdowns. I just we need to score more than, 17 points against Tampa. That was just not good. Not good. Christian Watson is available as a free agent. Okay, yeah, because it's a 10-man league. If you have room on the bench, who do you have on the bench that you can give up to get Christian Watson? I mean, I'd like to at least stash him and hold him, depending on who's on your bench, though. Depending who's on the bench. Outsole also most likely Aaron Jones isn't playing. Should I play Josh Kelly, Swift, or Mostert? For me, I'm playing Josh Kelly for sure. I mean, Eckler has got a little ankle injury, but Josh Kelly, they've been looking for a guy to take, carries with Austin Eckler. And he said it today. I mean, if you follow me on Instagram, guys, go follow me on Instagram, Dynasty Life Fantasy. It should be in the description there. But I posted something today where, he was on, Eckler was on with Matt Harmon on the podcast. And, Eckler said, like, I've been asking for this for the last few years to get me somebody, someone else that can lighten the load, that, is just as good. It's not a downgrade. And, that was good for him. And Eckler still saw 15, 16 carries, whatever it was. So Eckler was still awesome, and Kelly is still able to produce and get his work. So, we've been waiting for this from Josh Kelly. It hasn't happened, and finally has. It's finally here. Isaiah Spiller wasn't that guy. And now here's Kelly again. So, Kelly's doing his thing. Kelly's doing his thing. Jason, what's up, Jason? Appreciate you for tuning in. Appreciate everybody in here, guys. Smash that like for me. Smash that subscribe if you're new. Appreciate you guys. Hopefully you're digging the content. But someone dropped Carl Pickens in my Carl Pickens. George Pickens, you mean? Worth an ad? Carl Pickens. I don't know who Carl Pickens is, but unless it's a defensive guy, I don't know if you're talking IDP. I doubt it. But yeah, he would be. Goose, what up, Goose? What do you think of Calvin Austin with Deontay Johnson? I like Calvin Johnson. I like Calvin Austin. I mean, and I also like A-Rob. I like A-Rob as well. He was targeted the most last week. George Pickens, for some reason, even with Deontay out, seems to not even lead the team in targets, which is, I like George Pickens, but there's something about him that I just don't like, and not commanding a good target share. I mean, a 16% target share is just not going to cut it. He can make insane catches, but he's got to get separation. He's got to get open, and that's not happening enough. But I do like A-Rob, and I like Calvin Austin as well. He's a sneaky little guy, sneaky guy to have out there. So definitely a waiver ad. If you're not subscribed to the channel already, subscribe to the channel. I have the waiver video out, and Calvin Austin was on that video. Puka, Justin Herbert, and Williams on my bench. Okay. Yeah, see if you can somehow, tier up at a position if you can. Especially in those, more shallower leagues, just try and look to, upgrade, upgrade, and upgrade, because you need the hammers. You need the hammers, you know. Hey, enjoying this. I appreciate you, Vite Queen. QB dilemma. All right. Drafted Dak and Love. Not ideal. Played Love last week, 25 points. Dak wins 40-0 and gets 6 points. Now I'm getting Stafford, and no, don't go get Stafford. Don't do that. It's a 1 QB league. It's not worth it to go get Stafford, because by the end of the season, the difference between Dak, Love, and Stafford is not going to be much. I'm going to be playing Dak every single week. Last week they did win 40-0, so unfortunately, there's nothing you can do about that. He just didn't have to produce. He didn't have to. So. I don't think Stafford is going to be a top 10, top 12 QB for the whole season. Over the course of the season, he's going to have his weeks, here and there, just like everybody else does. But Dak is going to give you, he's on just a better offense. He's got more weapons. I'm not as I'm not as in on Stafford like you are here, especially in a one QB league. There's no reason to go out and trade for Stafford or get buy another QB. You roll with Dak. If you don't like the matchup, maybe you roll with Love a week or two here or there. But I think you're gonna just use Dak, or if anything, you tier up from Dak to something else. And Stafford for me is not a tier up. So I did pick up Kelly too. Okay, yeah, yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah. You definitely got to pick up, definitely got to pick up Kelly. I mean, he's for the rest of the season. As long as he doesn't get injured, it looks like he's going to be that second guy, the guy they've always wanted. It's good for the offense. It's good for Eckler. They like it. Eckler's liking it. It's working. So you know. He was played for the Bengals years ago. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, we're in 2023, and we're not really talking defense here. But appreciate you, Jason. Big Ben is still out there for some reason. I see Big Ben is out there on Sleeper. He's out there. There's a few guys still out there, like Sam Macho is out there. He was out there this offseason. I'm like, but yeah, you can still find a bunch of old guys on there. Yeah, he's definitely going to have a good year with touches. So if you're able to get him on waivers, like especially if you chose like a hero running back, or you chose maybe go zero running back and you stocked up on wide receivers, like being able to get a Josh Kelly is perfect for those kind of builds. Maybe the Jets will sign, but Big Ben. Yeah, I don't know if the Jets are gonna. I think they're just gonna roll with Zach Wilson and hope he doesn't fuck it up. Listen, Mark Sanchez brought a good run game and a great defense to, the AFC Championship. So I'm not saying Zach Wilson is awesome, but he might not have to be awesome. He just has to be good enough and manage the game and not turn the ball over. So we shall see what happens. I'm not excited, but I mean, listen, he's gonna have Aaron Rodgers in his ear all year. I think, I think that'll be good for him. Ethan says he's sending Madison and Mike Williams for CD Lamb. Hell yeah, go for it, man. Go for it. See what happens there. Is RB2 is Cam Akers. My backup is Roshan. Okay, I think Roshan will get more and more work as the season goes on. You have JT on the bench for the long term. Yeah, my only problem with JT is that if he doesn't get traded, he only has to play 6 games. He only's got to be active for 6 games to get credit for the season. So if the Colts aren't winning after those 6 games, if they're not, in contention for the playoffs, there's no incentive for him to finish the season or to play any games after the 6 games that he plays. He can just say his ankle hurts or his leg hurts or hammy or whatever he wants and just sit the rest of the season, right? Because they're not going to give him a contract. They already said that. So there's no incentive for him to play more than the 6 games that he needs to play to get credit, to get credit for the season. So that's my only worry with JT. But that being said, maybe he does get traded, right? Aaron Jones is injured right now. What if his injury lingers on? The Packers were said to be looking at JT and trying to buy him, and apparently they wanted like Christian Watson and AJ Dillon, and it was like a ridiculous offer. But they were looking into JT. Maybe they go after him. Maybe the Ravens go after a JT, even though they said they're just going to solve their issue in house. Maybe that changes. So unless he gets traded, I'm very worried if he stays on the Colts if he finishes the season. So he might play those 6 games after the 4 games that he's out here, and then possibly not play after that. That's my only worry with JT. Would you rather have Tutu Atwell or Drake London year long? I'm going to take Drake London here. I think, with nobody there, Tutu obviously had the opportunity to do something. I don't expect that to happen for the whole season. Especially once Cooper Cup comes back. Now you've got Puka, who kind of made a name for himself. Van Jefferson will probably slip right into that slot role, so that leaves Tutu as the number 4 wide receiver. So yeah, give me Drake London. I know it was a horrible game. We can't really start him until further notice, but I think you got to hold on to Drake London there. And guys, don't forget. I mean, situations change, right? Who's to say Ritter is the quarterback for the whole season? Because if he shows that he can't throw the ball and they like are not winning games or they're barely winning games because he's not able to throw the ball, that's a good team, and they might not want to just waste some of the talent they have there. Maybe Heineke comes in and plays. I mean, who knows? But yeah, I'm keeping Drake London for that. No problem, Vite Queen. Appreciate you for coming in. Appreciate you. GooseCon, do you think Ty Chandler threatens Madison at any point in the? No, no, I don't think he threatens Madison. I think they're good kind of complements to each other. I don't think he threatens him at all. I mean, obviously they might split some work, or Ty Chandler might eat in a little bit, but not to threaten the point of like taking over the role over Madison. No, I don't think so, but could be wrong. You never know. You never know. But it just seems like they want to just throw the ball way more than anything. So you taking Gus Edwards, Hill, or Gordon for the Ravens? I don't really want any of them, but if I had to choose one or two of them, it'd be Edwards and Hill for sure. Gordon, I think, is just kind of the backup guy there. And then if I had to choose one, it'd probably be Hill. He's the one that saw the goal line carries. But Gus Edwards was just more effective with the carries that he got. So if I had to choose one, it'd be Hill. Marty, what up, brother? What's goody? Johnny D said got Travis Etienne, Pierce, Monty, and Algier. Okay. If you had to bench one for this week, who would you drop? Drop or bench? I'm a bit skeptical on Algier repaying his performance. 10-team PPR. So we're definitely playing ETN. Do I have to pick two of these guys? I'm guessing. Oh, you had to bench one. My bad. My bad. My bad. My bad. All right, so we got to bench one. ETN, Pierce, Montgomery, Algier. Let me take a look at these schedules right quick. Uh, Pierce has got the Colts. Monty's got the Seahawks. Algier's got the Pack. I think you have to play Algier. Like you have to play. If I had to sit one of them, it'd probably be Pierce, to be honest. That's just the worst offense. Um, Let me pull up real quick. So last week, I mean, 11 for 38. He had 3 targets. I just I feel like Monty could bang in a touchdown at any point or multiple touchdowns at any point, and he's good for 15 to 20 touches, right? Algier, I don't expect this to happen the whole season, but I do expect Bijan to eat in as we go on into the season. But I expect Algier to still be a big part. Right now, I think you have to play Algier until further notice, until we start seeing the switch. Now, Cordell Patterson was out; he didn't play in that game. So when he comes back, does that change things a little bit as well? But for the meantime, I think you got to play Algier, and I think I'm going to choose Pierce to sit at all of these guys. So I think I'd choose Pierce, man. You guys, let me know in the chat. Who would you guys sit in this situation? We got to sit one of these guys: ETN, Pierce, Monty, or Algier. Goose Khan said, "Do you think Raheed Shaheed will be a top 40 wide receiver on the year?" I think it's possible. I think it might have to depend on Mike Thomas's health If Mike Thomas is healthy all season, I think it might be tough. He'll kind of be, a hit or miss, but it's definitely possible even with Michael Thomas there. So it's close. I could see him finishing as a top 36 guy. I think that's possible if Derek Carr can stay healthy all season, and he slings the ball like he did. But if Michael Thomas is healthy all season, I think that kind of worries me. But what's the chances he stays healthy all season? So let's say it. He'll be a top 40 wide receiver. Shaheed top 40. If my trade goes through, I'll have Herbert, CMC, Roshan, AJ Brown, Olave, Higby, CD, bench Sutton, Moore, Nico, Tank, Laporta, Purdy in an open spot with JT and IR. If my trade goes through, I'll have Herbert. Yeah, you definitely want Herbert. You want that upside for sure. Okay, awesome. CMC, Roshan, AJ, Olave, Higby, CD. Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. I like that there. And then don't forget, you still got Sutton, you got Moore, you got Nico, you got Laporta, you've got Tank. You can use a combination of any of those guys to try and upgrade from Roshan or upgrade from Higby as well. So you don't have to stop there. Keep on going. See what you can get. There's Hammer. What up, Hammer? Hammer left me dry tonight. Little spooning. Um, Jay, what's good, Jay? What's up, brother? Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, Jay. So Jay says Pierce out of all those guys to sit Pierce, and we're on the same page there. So for sure, trade Hawkinson for Laporta or see Laporta's upside and keep him. No, if you can get Hawkinson for Laporta, I'm taking Hawkinson easy. I like Laporta, but he doesn't have Hawkinson upside. I don't think he's finishing top three. Hawkinson is a top three guy, so I'm definitely keeping Hawkinson. I'm not coming off of Hawkinson. Or if you're trading for Hawkinson, then absolutely go and get him. Would you be happy if the Vikings traded for Jonathan Taylor? Yeah, I would be. Of course, I would be. I mean, we can use a nice dominant running back, but is that what we need? Probably not. Um, but I would like it, of course. Of course, I like it. Are we going to do that? Probably not. We got to pay JJ. We can't. I don't think we can pay JT. We still got to pay JJ. We got to figure out what we're doing at the quarterback position. Are we going to pay Kirk Cousins to come back, or are we going to let him go and try and get somebody else? Like, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Why am I homie without a co-host? Did I mention Swift too many times, Hammer? Yeah, Hammer's with the wifey tonight. So he's doing his thing. But yeah, listen, Swift could be a good play. It's a risk reward. It's a risk reward. Why he didn't get burned last week, I don't know. I don't get it. I don't understand. But that is why we were off of Swift from the beginning, because do they have plays designed for him? They don't dump the ball off to the running back that much, so it's not ideally like a good fit for Swift with what Swift does best. So unless they have some design plays for him or, certain packages, like I don't know. Are they going to hand it off to him 15 times? Is Penny going to get a bunch of touches this game after he was a healthy scratch last game? So like that's the tough part is to trust it. But I would say this. I would say depending on the rest of your team and depending on the opponent that you're facing, can you risk it to start Swift, over some of the other guys you have? And of course, it depends on what other options you have. Do you need that upside to win? Do you need to start Swift? Do you need that upside, or could you just play it safe, with somebody else? So it just depends. It depends who you have, man. Depends. Vikings should tank for Caleb. Yeah, I don't think that's happening. I mean, we're bad, but I don't know if we're that bad. I guess we could be. I'm okay. Fuck it. Fuck it. Let's just do it. we're not going to sign Kirk back and give us a young Caleb with a young Addison, young JJ, young Hawkinson, just a loaded offense. And then we'll figure out the defense. Fuck it. But if we're putting up 40 a game, we'll be all right. We'll be all right. Vi Queen, what do you think of that? Should we tank for Caleb? Would you be happy with that? And would you be happy if we went out and got Jonathan Taylor, which unfortunately I just don't think is realistic, just because we have to pay JJ before we kind of do anything else. For flex, what do you think of Akers? I hate Akers. I told everybody don't touch him. I mean, 22 for 29 yards is just horrible. Or McLaurin, Rice, or Zay Jones. Also on my bench, Osborne and McKinnon. So best of these six. I know it can go a lot of ways. Only week 2. Listen, Akers still did get a bunch of carries. Let me go back to who are they playing. I think they're playing the 49ers this week. Yeah, we're definitely not playing. I'm not playing Akers here. Give me even McLaurin is rough. Zay Jones had a good game, but is that going to continue? All right, so it's between McLaurin or Zay Jones. I mean, they're playing the Chiefs. That could be a high scoring game. Two great quarterbacks. Could be going at it. Depends how safe you feel with McLaurin going against one of the best corners in the game in Denver, and how you feel about Sam Howell. So that's the rough part. Is Sam Howell is young. These QBs can eat that up. So I want to say Zay Jones here, but I'm not even like in love with it. Like I still want to say, you know what, fuck it, you got to play McLaurin here. So I think if you want to stick to your guns, play McLaurin. If you want to get a little crazy, play Zay Jones. Be crazy. Said stay away from Christian Kirk. He was drafted way too high this year, kind of like Gabe Davis was last year. Just all the hype just pushed them up draft boards, and it just wasn't worth drafting them in that spot. So does Kirk bounce back? Do these guys go back and forth? Is it Zay Jones? Is it Kirk? Might be Zay Jones, because Kirk kind of excels in the slot, and now with Ridley, where he kind of plays everywhere. He plays inside and outside. I think that really affected Christian Kirk. So dang, I might have to go with Zay Jones if we want to get crazy here. My worry with Terry is just a good defense, a great cornerback with a young quarterback. Zay just has the matchup. If they weren't playing the Chiefs, I would not be saying Zay Flowers right now. I mean, I would not be saying Zay Jones right now. But since they are playing the Chiefs, I think it is a good matchup. And if the attention is going to Ridley, I mean, you do still got Ingram there and Kirk as well. So there are a lot of guys there. But does Zay Jones wind up catching a touchdown? Is that more likely to happen than McLaurin catching a touchdown? It's going to be very similar. So pick your poison there, Bike Queen. McLaurin to stick with the guns. Zay Jones if we getting crazy. Talk all day. Absolutely. Absolutely, Vi Queen. That's what I'm talking about. I went to the first game that Hawkinson was a Viking, which was against Washington. And I'm in North Carolina. So I drove the whatever it was, 4 or 5 hours. Went to Washington and saw them playing that first game where he had like the 10 catches. And from there I knew he was gonna be awesome from there. I'm not playing McCollum. I'm crazy. Fuck it. Let's do it. Let's do it, Vi Queen. Let's see what happens, baby. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Let me get to everybody else here. Appreciate everybody in the chat, guys. Make sure you smash that like for me. Smash that subscribe if you're new. I'll get to everybody's questions here. Just be patient as I go through everything here. Where was I at? Here we go. Jay, my trade is Swift. I just gave up Dynasty-wise. That's fine. Use the hype to get off of them. You got to take advantage of those things. Don't get stuck on the player. Swift is an RB2. You can get another RB2. So if you can come off for anything, then that's fine. This is my first year I ever had him, but I don't see a franchise trust. No, he's never going to have workhorse usage. That is out the window. That's out the window. And NFL is going more and more away from that in general. So definitely not. What did you wind up getting for him, Jay? What did you trade Swift for? What was the trade? Marty said reunite Addison and Williams. Yeah, baby. Listen. You know, listen. If it was Kirk and not Aaron Rodgers that tore it, I mean, maybe. I don't know if we're gonna lose enough games to be able to get a Caleb, or maybe we somehow trade up. I don't know. Do we do something crazy like that? On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you hate the Packers? I mean, I'm a Vikings fan. Hammer's a Packers fan, so I want to say, I want to say a 10, but I mean, I have respect for Aaron Rodgers. He's, one of the great quarterbacks. But as far as the Packers in general, yeah, they could kick rocks. And me and Hammer argue all the time. He'll be back on Friday. But Simp said, should I keep the Commanders defense or pick up the Giants defense? Dropped Everett, picked up Laporta off of waivers. All right, that's a good decision there. Commanders or Giants? Who are we playing here? Commanders against the Broncos, Giants against the Cardinals. Oh, fuck, after last week, I don't know. Can we trust the Giants? I mean, even the Cardinals played decent, you know. But I don't think the Broncos are like a high-powered offense, so I feel like you could still be safe playing Washington. I don't know. Do you trust the Giants D? Can we trust the Giants D? It is the Cardinals. I mean, the same kind of situation. They don't really have much crazy upside at all, so maybe you do go with the Giants, but I feel like I like the Commanders' defensive line. Let's go with the Commanders. I don't trust the Giants, but you could go either way, man. Zay Jones or Dubs. If Christian Watson doesn't play, Dubs. Christian Watson does play. I might roll Zay Jones there. And Marty, I remember no, not Marty. That wasn't you. Okay, Zay Jones or Dubs. Yeah, that's right. All right, my bad. One Nation. What up, One Nation? Assuming Judy plays, are you flexing Judy, Montgomery, Mike Williams, or Shaheed? Can we trust Judy in the first game back? Do we play Mike Williams since he's healthy, or do you play Shaheed? Let's take a look at who these guys are playing here. Mike Williams is playing the Titans. You've got Shaheed against the Panthers. Um, it might be Judy. Judy or Mike Williams, I think. As long as Mike Williams is healthy, like you kind of just have to play him. He's gonna have his boom weeks and he's gonna have his weeks he doesn't do anything. You're never gonna be able to decide which week it is. So give me the upside in Mike Williams in the flex until he gets hurt. Give me Mike Will. Ty, what's up, Ty? 10-point PPR. Allen Eckler, K9, Amon-Ra, Dotson, Andrews, Cook, Deontay, Kirk, Herbert, Charbonnet, Algier, Roshan, Bateman, Gainwell, Ahmed. Would you trade Herbert or Algier for Mike Will? Yeah, I'd trade Herbert easily for Mike Will. I'd try and keep Algier if I could. Like if you had to choose between Herbert or Algier, like I'd rather give up Herbert for him. You can use Algier to trade for somebody else, or package Algier with somebody to trade up. Can we upgrade from Dotson or Deontay Johnson now that he's hurt because Christian Kirk didn't do jack? Could we upgrade there? You know, so I would trade Herbert, get Mike Will, and then trade Algier and well, Deontay's hurt. It might be hard to trade him. Maybe Kirk, or maybe you wait 1 week. Maybe Kirk does something this week against the Chiefs, and then you have some better trade value with them. But yeah, I would try and trade. I would trade both of those guys if you could. Goose says Zay Jones will be the number 2 in the high-powered Jags offense. Yeah, Zay Jones is good. I think he's just a better route runner than Kirk. Like, I think that really just hurts Kirk because of what Ridley can do and where he lines up. It's tough. Just picked up Jones. I may go with him. Yeah, let's do it, man. Let's do it. Should I drop Elijah Mitchell to pick up Roshan Johnson or Tank Bigsby off of waivers? I don't want to drop Elijah Mitchell because if CMC goes down, I mean it's a high-powered offense. There's got to be someone else on your team that you can drop to pick up those guys if you can. I like Roshan for the long run, not necessarily like for next week, but for the long run, I do like Roshan. Do you have a backup quarterback, a backup defense, a backup tight end that you have on your bench? Drop any of those and pick up. I'd pick up Roshan. I think would be more of the priority because I think he can actually take over there. Brad, what's up, Brad? Appreciate you for tuning in here. 10 team, Alan Gibbs, Brees, CD, AJ, Pitts, Debo Niners, Justin Tucker, Bench Thomas, Raheem Swift, Dalvin Ertz. Rate the team and what trade should I make? Allen, Gibbs, Brees, CD, AJ. Awesome. I'll probably give you an 8 out of 10. I don't love Debo. Pitts is good, but he's not really giving you a ton of upside, but that's fine. But you have a good team. It's impossible to get a 10 out of 10. That would be, an insane team. But you've got some things you can make trades with here. Like Ayuk is just he's better than Debo. I said it last year. It's come to fruition now for sure. So can we trade Debo, some combination of Debo and Mike Thomas, Debo and Mostert, Debo and Swift? It's a good opportunity since Gainwell is out. It's a perfect opportunity to sell high when everyone thinks he's going to get a ton of work. Does that happen? Possibly, but yeah. Can you trade any of those guys and upgrade at that flex spot would be ideal. Or if you can move up from Pitts to Hawkinson, Andrews, or Kelsey. So either a top 3 tight end or upgrade at wide receiver if you can with any combination of those guys. Just got to find a team that's going to want to trade, one of their top guys. So they're going to need, they probably need help at wide receiver. If you're going to use 2 wide receivers, they probably need help at running back if you're trading, Swift or Raheem. So find a team that needs something and attack that team for a flex spot there. Goose says, sounds like a shout out for Casey and Jack. Yeah, shootout. Yeah, I hope so. I hope so. Yeah, McLaurin got the turf toe. So that's something that can get worse, that can linger on, which is not good. So hopefully he got enough rest. How long until KC makes the shift to Rashi Rice and Justin Ross? I don't know. They're in certain packages. They were in on the goal line packages, which was interesting. Rashid Rice is okay. He's not that great. He wasn't a great prospect coming out. He wasn't a great route runner. In fact, he graded the lowest ever on Matt Harmon's reception perception. But he's on the Chiefs and he's playing with Patrick Mahomes. So, there's going to be things that open up. So does he start to get more burn? Yeah, if Tony keeps playing like shit, and if Sky Moore plays like shit, then yeah, Rashee Rice could get more work. But I think with Tony and Sky Moore being in that system for a year already, they trust those guys, even though they didn't play well. They trust those guys. So I still have more faith in Tony and Sky Moore than Rashee Rice or Justin Ross, unfortunately. But if injuries happen, because Tony is one to, of course, not stay healthy, Rashi Rice can get an opportunity. You don't have to be the greatest route runner in the world to play with Patrick Mahomes, and especially when you've got Kelsey, that's going to take away a lot of attention. And that's what they were missing, was Kelsey kind of taking away a bunch of that attention. So when Kelsey's taking that attention away, I think we'll see better things happen. So. One Nation says, I have Zay and I might go crazy and play Zay Jones as well over the names I just listed. Yeah, yeah. Listen, I like Zay. It could be a little bit spicy, but again, I've never liked Kirk, so I'm not surprised one bit at all. What do you think of Roshan Johnson, future RB for the Bears? I think he'll be the guy that takes over there. He's a big guy. He can catch the football as well. He's already taken over like pass catching down work. As you go on into the season, he'll get more and more work. Like there's one thing you guys like just remember about rookies is that they're coming from college where they don't play as many games as the NFL. It's not as hard of a season or as long of a season as it is, in the NFL. So a lot of these guys they ease in because they don't want to burn them out too early. So over the course of the year, I think you see Roshan get more and more work as the season goes on. Ty said that's what I was thinking. Yeah, you got it, Ty. You got it, Ty. Marcos, what's up, Marcos? Appreciate you, man. Jameer Gibbs, Mostert, or Sanders, half PPR. Love the show. Thank you. Yeah, we're gonna go with Gibbs here. I'm going with Gibbs over both of these guys probably every time. The upside is there. Now, does he get more work than he did last week? I don't know. There's possibly a chance he doesn't, but he's a guy that doesn't need a ton of touches. Mostert's a little bit banged up this week, going against a pretty good Patriots D. They've always been good the last few years. And then you've got Miles Sanders, who's probably he's gonna get his work, but who are they playing this week? Sanders. Where's he at? Okay, he's all the way down here Monday night. That's why. So they play the Saints, which is a good D. So yeah, I'm not going to play Sanders. Give me Jameer Gibbs pretty easily there, Marco. So play Gibbs and let's hope he breaks some more good runs there because he looked awesome. He looked really really good. And it's a perfect buy low opportunity. A lot of people are, oh, he's not getting all the work. Monty is same thing as last year. I don't think that's the case. They're just kind of easing him in, not throwing everything right at him. There's no reason to either. Monty's perfectly capable back. That's what they paid him for. So, would you rather have Addison or Flowers? For this year, I think that Addison has the highest chance to finish as the best scoring wide receiver out of the rookies. You're playing in a high-powered Minnesota offense with Kirk Cousins that throws the football 650 times, probably. A team that's always going to be throwing, right? Flowers looked great, and he had a bunch of receptions, a bunch of targets, but don't forget Andrews wasn't there, right? I mean, is that going to continue throughout the whole season? So it's really close between kind of, who you want there. But I think Addison kind of gives you a little bit more chance of upside and touchdowns than Flowers. So give me Addison, even though he's the third fiddle pretty much because you got JJ, you got Hawkinson. There's plenty to go around when your quarterback is throwing the ball a ton. So give me Addison for this season. KC receivers are going to keep us questioning for a few weeks. Yeah, we're not going to know exactly what's happening. For me, it's still Sky Moore. I think Sky Moore is going to be the guy. If you go back and look at the tape from that night, Patrick Mahomes missed him on a few throws. Things could have been a lot different. We had a play called back. But he was just kind of throwing the ball downfield a little bit more than he needed to. He could have kind of went underneath the sky a few more times, but it is what it is. As Kelsey comes back, we'll see that kind of come to fruition, and we'll see what happens over the next few weeks. But for now, you can't start any KC wide receiver on that team until further notice, until we see more. Why is Tajay out snapping Henry? I mean, I think they just wanted to give Henry some rest, I guess. I don't think that's something that'll continue on. It's just if they were able to give him a little breather, give him a breather if they're going to need him down the stretch. I'm like Spears is not taking over for Derrick Henry. That's not going to be happening. But if they're in more passing situations, um, then Spears is going to be out there a little bit more if they need to pass the football more. Madison or JSN this week. Let me go back to my. Oh, I'm going Addison this week. I mean, we're going against the Eagles, but we're going to throw the ball, as I keep saying. And Bradbury is out, so you've got JJ taking the number one corner there, and then that should leave some room for Addison to get some work in. So I do like Addison a lot. JSN, it might take a little bit for him to start coming along because you do got DK and you do have Lockett as well. So yeah, give me Addison for sure this week. Simp said, try to find room for Kendrick Bourne, or was week one a fluke? When he scored 2 touchdowns, he had a bunch of targets. Devontae Parker was out. So if Devontae Parker's out, I think he's a pretty good play. I don't expect him to do that every single week. But I think he's a pretty good flex play depending on your options. I don't think he's a must start every single week, but I think he's a good play if Devontae's out again and you're struggling for options. I think Jacoby Myers week one was a mirage. I mean, obviously he's not going to do that for the whole season. But I think he's going to be pretty good. I think he's a fine guy to have in the flex pretty much, for the rest of the season. Jimmy G looks his way. I mean, I think he's a fine kind of flex guy or fill in when you need. I don't think he's putting up, 30 something points every game, but I think he's just fine if you need a flex play or a fill in. Would you be willing to spend a second on Roshan? Oh, absolutely. I spend a second easily on Roshan right now. He probably costs more. He might cost more in more in more competitive leagues maybe. But yeah, if you can spend a second on Roshan, easily go get him for a second, definitely for sure. A Richardson or Mayfield, that's my QB2 super flex. This is not even a question. A Richardson, man. A Richardson, you're not gonna play Baker over him. You know, Richardson didn't even play like great, and he still, had a good, a decent, fine fantasy day for you. Like, so yeah, give me Anthony Richardson all day, and you're gonna start him every single week over Mayfield. You're never gonna start Mayfield over A Rich in that super flex spot. Fantasy 101, what's up, man? Appreciate everybody for coming out, guys. Smash that like for me, smash that subscribe if you're new. I'll get to all the questions here. I'm just going through everything one by one. I give good detailed answers here. Make sure you get all the information. But should I trade Tyler Algier and Amari Cooper for Cup? Ooh, okay. I got JJ Adams and St. Brown. My goal is to get Cup, turn him into a top 12 running back for depth. I got Madison, Javante, Christian Kirk. Yeah, I think right now it's a great opportunity to trade Tyler Algier high. I think for the next few weeks he's pretty much going to be a must start until Bijan starts eating in a little bit more. But if you think that you have a better opportunity of trading Cooper Cup for a better running back than you do Algier and Cooper together, then absolutely. Like, it seems like you know what you're doing. You have a plan here. I'm going to trade this for that, and then I'm going to trade that for this. So you know your league more than me. If you think you can turn Cup into a top 12 running back, then I'd absolutely do it. So I like it. I like it. You got Kirk, Brees Hall. Oh, okay. My bad. That's the rest of the team there. You got Madison, Javante, Christian Kirk, Brees Hall, and Monty. Yeah, I like it. I like it, man. I like it. Will, what's up, Will? Appreciate you for tuning in. Wilson for Cup. I have Chase, Eckler, Pollard, and Olave in a 10-man. Wilson for Cup. I have Chase. Yeah. Yeah, I do that. I get off of Wilson to take the chance on Cup at this point without Aaron Rodgers. I think I'll take that. I think I'll take that chance. You got Chase, Eckler, Pollard, and Olave in a 10-man. Yeah, give me Cup where you need the hammers in a 10-man. Absolutely. Go get him, Will. You think Dalton Kincaid will be a top 10, top 12 tight end by year's end? I do. It's not that hard to be a top 12 tight end. So yeah, absolutely I do. I've got him, I think, in my top 12 in redraft. He's like 11 or 12 for me. So yeah, I see him finishing in the back end there. I think as the season goes on, you'll see more and more. Just like the rest of these rookies, as the season goes on, they're going to start getting, they're going to start getting more and more work. Non PPR, do you like trading Dalvin Cook and the Giants defense for AJ Dillon? Yeah, I do that. 49ers defense is really good, and I think I'd rather have AJ Dillon than Dalvin Cook. Brees looks good, and he'll get more work as the season goes. Cook is going to be okay, but Dillon's going to be okay also. But I'd rather have that defense than the Giants defense. So give me Dillon, especially with an older Aaron Jones now dealing with a hamstring injury. Absolutely. Caddy, what up, Caddy? What's good, brother? How do I convince my dad not to start both Akers and Kyron Williams? He thinks no matter who gets the ball, he will overall be getting points. I mean, I doubt they both scored touchdowns again. I don't know, man. Who else can he play? I mean, you're not giving me any info here, Caddy. Let me know what other guys does he have to play that he can play over Akers. Probably rather play Kyron at this point than Akers. So who else can he play that we can try and convince him? I can't just say, don't play Akers just because. I mean, you can point to the 22 carries for 29 yards and say, this is why you don't play Akers. He has Mixon on the bench. So you have a guy in a top 10 offense, arguably top 5, and you don't want to play Mixon, but you want to play Akers instead, who was, again, 22 rushes for 29 yards. Just show him where Mixon, like pull up sleeper and show him where Mixon finishes every single year because he's been a top 10 guy. And I don't love Mixon, but he's on a good team, and that's why he's able to score touchdowns and able to finish in the top. But yeah, just show him where Joe Mixon has finished the last 2 years, 10th and 4th in PPR. So, and then show him Cam Akers and see what he thinks. You think Tua is a top QB this year? Did you see the game? I think so. I think he was a top QB last year when he wasn't injured. So absolutely, a lot of people are just scared of the injury. You can't be scared of it. If it happens, it happens. But let's not, you can't predict it. Let's just hope he stays upright. But yeah, absolutely, absolutely, he's a top QB. What's your prediction for the NFC North? The way the national media is stroking the Lions is unreal. They are stroking the Lions, but to be fair, they probably have the best, if not the best team. They have a really good team. They have a really good team. If it's not the Vikings, it's the Lions that's going to take the division. How I see it, and the Packers third, and the Bears fourth. So it's either Lions, Vikings, Packers, and then Bears for me. Of course, we're Vikings fans. Of course, we want to say the Vikings should win the NFC North, but well, we have the squad to. Losing that first game to Tampa just was some bull jive. But AS, what's up? Should I trade Puka and Kelly for Godwin and McKinnon? 0.5 PPR running backs are Najee, Pacheco, Swift, Kamara, Kelly, Adams, wide receivers, Cooper, Hopkins, Watson, Flowers, Cup, Puka. No. I like Kelly way more than McKinnon. Kelly's going to be getting work for the rest of the season because this is what they want. They've always wanted another guy they can give, 15-ish carries to and some goal line work to help Eckler out and get him some rest. You've got Cooper Cup, so I definitely want Puka because if when Cup comes back, we don't know what's going to happen with Puka, right? He could be a really good wide receiver too because Van Jefferson is not it. So he could definitely be a good wide receiver too. If Cup doesn't come back, or if Cup comes back and gets hurt, at least you have Puka for the rest of the season, and he's going to get the majority of the targets. So I'm not going to try and get Godwin here. You've got Cup. if you want to make a trade, you've got Flowers there too, so you've got guys that that you can play. I mean, if you want to upgrade upgrade there, use two of those guys to upgrade for one. I do that, but no, I'm keeping Puka and Kelly, man. Keeping Puka and Kelly there. Cooks or Jacoby. I heard Cooks is injured right now, I think, if I'm not mistaken. It says he has a chance to play in week 2. So there's a chance that that he misses, but I think I'm gonna play Jacoby. If Jacoby plays, I'm playing Jacoby. I was also offered Eckler for Cooper and Cup. Do you mean Puka and Cup? Eckler for Puka and Cup? Um, I'm okay with taking Eckler if this way you just minimize the risk of Cooper Cup. If you need a running back and you think you're okay at wide receiver, then I'm okay with that. That's an even trade there. Zach Moss or Komet, tight end premium. It's tough to put a tight end in the flex spot, but I think Komet is pretty safe. I don't trust Zach Moss. I know they're saying he's like the guy, but I told everybody don't play Deion Jackson last week. I mean, he didn't do jack. So I'm not I'm not really excited to play a Zach Moss. Although I hate kind of playing a tight end. There's not anybody else that you have? No wide receiver maybe that you can play otherwise it's Komet. I'm not playing Zach Moss. Would you trade Garrett, Mostert for Lamb, AJ Brown, or Ridley? Yeah, absolutely. In a heartbeat. Any one of those guys, I'll take it. You need the upside, especially I know you're playing some 8 or 10-man leagues, I think, Caddy. I don't know if this is a 12-man league. Even if it is a 12-man league, I'd rather have Lamb, AJ Brown, or Ridley than Garrett Wilson right now. Lightning McQueen, love the name there. I appreciate you for tuning in. Everybody out there, appreciate all you guys. I get to all the questions there. Smash that like for me. Smash that subscribe if you're new. But give Sutton and Kyron Williams. I love it. Two kind of sell highs for Swift and Waller. Oh no, not for Swift and Waller. Current tight end is no. Current tight end is Freiermuth. You're fine at tight end. I'm just holding Freiermuth. If he winds up not playing this week, just pick somebody up off of waivers and play them. It's not worth trading for a tight end unless it's Andrews, Kelsey, or Hawkinson. You might just hold on to Freiermuth. May also be able to do something for Waller straight. I'm not interested in Waller, especially with the hamstring. He's an older guy. Hamstrings linger on. They've already said not good things about it, so. They've already said that it could linger through the season. So I'm not. There's no reason to try and go from Freiermuth to Waller. I don't think the difference between those two guys at the end of the year is going to be much at all. It never is at the tight end position. So I just stick with Freiermuth. I know Freiermuth was a little banged up. If he winds up for whatever reason not playing, just pick somebody up off of waivers and play them for this week. But no, I don't want to make this trade. I think I'd rather keep Kyron Williams because he looked good. He looked better than Akers. It looked like he's getting work. So I'd rather keep him. Sutton's a good sell high if you want to come off of Sutton for something, but not tight end. Upgrade somewhere else on your team, McQueen. Let's upgrade somewhere else because that's going to do more for you than trying to to get a Waller. Yes. Oh yeah, we talked about that. He benched Walker too. Yeah. The Cup owner has Kamara. Dem7, what's up? Should I trade? Should I try and trade them Puka for Kamara? Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. Use Puka. Use the advantage of the of what Puka did in week 1. Because if he gets, let's just say he gets shut down in week 2, and he doesn't have a good game at all of the hype, all of that value is going to be gone then at that point. So let's take advantage and go out and get yourself Kamara, because what's going to happen, to Puka when Cup comes back? Is he going to be a bona fide wide receiver too? Like, I don't know. Do we want to take that chance, or would you rather have, would you rather have Kamara? And I'm sure you either drafted Puka crazy late in your draft, or you just picked him off a waiver. So it's basically a free Kamara. So yeah, All day, Dems. Let's do it. Let's take advantage of these opportunities that we have. Soto said, "My team is Love, Richardson, Fields, Bijan, ETN, Kamara, Roshan, and Amari, D Hop, Addison, Kyle Pitts. What pieces should I trade for a better tight end and flex? Full PPR, one QB. Okay, two running back, one flex, two wide receivers. Okay, 6 point passing TD. He got Love, Richardson, and Fields. Well, I mean, I get you could roll with Richardson and try and trade Fields to trade that upside, or you could roll with Fields and trade Richardson. Um, you got Bijan, ETN. We're not touching anything there. You got Kamara, Roshan. You got Amon-Ra, Amari, D Hop. So I'd like to try and upgrade wide receiver or the flex there. So you could look to combine an Amari and D Hop. You could look to combine Roshan and D Hop or Roshan and Amari. Kamara you could throw in there as well. I'm not sure who else you have on the bench, if anyone, but you can use Addison at also any combination there. So, I mean, what I would do is go look in your league and just see who's a little weak at wide receiver or who's a little weak at running back, and just kind of determine, okay, who needs what? What would make sense for this guy to trade me this particular player? You know. So I'd look at that and then try and do something there. 6 point passing touchdown. The pocket passers are just I like pocket passers, especially the 6 point passing touchdown. I love the upside with Richardson and all that, but if you can take advantage and get like a Herbert or a Joe Burrow right now who just didn't do well, so people are freaking out. Can you trade Richardson or Fields for Joe Burrow? Or some combination, Richardson and Roshan Johnson for Joe Burrow or something like that. Can you take advantage of what happened with Joe Burrow week 1? So those are just some ideas, some things to look at. Soto. And let me know what happens there. Appreciate you for tuning in. Caddy said feeling pretty good, getting Hurst, Puka, and Addison from waivers. Yeah, that is good. I don't know how you got all of those guys, but AS said Eckler for Cooper. Oh, Amari Cooper and Cup. My bad. I'm thinking Cooper Cup. Okay. Eckler for ooh, that's I don't know if I want to give up Cup and Cooper for Eckler. Unless you've got some dominant wide receivers, then I don't think so. I feel like when Cup comes back, like even before he plays, if they just say, okay, Cooper Cup's back for week 5, I feel like at that point you can probably trade him straight up for like an Austin Eckler type without giving up Amari Cooper. Marty said it was a 32 team, the Zach Moss commit question. That's why it's so ugly. Yeah, that's all right. It happens, bro. It happens. McQueen said, "Got it. Appreciate it. I'll stick with Frymouth and try to sell high with Sun." Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Absolutely, absolutely. And listen, McQueen, on my channel, make sure you're subscribed. But check out the Warp video. I had Scott Connor on. We went deep into Warp and what Warp is, and we went over tight ends pretty much in depth. And there's a lot of good information there that will kind of change your mind about the tight end position and how to approach that. So just take a look at that. There's just some good insight there that you might like. Just a random kid. Should I bench Algier for this week? I mean, for who? I don't know for who. Tell me for who, and then we'll make that decision. I think Algier is pretty much a flex play or an RB2 in most formats, depending who your options are. So, what are your options there? Who are you going to bench Algier for? I think is the biggest question, kid. Who said, "What kind of wide receiver trade value can I get for Tua? Tua in a redraft league." That's tough. I think it really depends on who needs Tua. Like, who would need Tua in your redraft league? Like, who has a quarterback that's just not that good or got hurt? I mean, it's tough in one QB leagues because the value just isn't there when it's one QB for any of the QBs. So It's tough to say. I would think you might be able to get at least a wide receiver 3 if they're gonna be a backup. If somebody's gonna take Tua as their QB1, they might give up a wide receiver 2, you know? I would say probably a wide receiver 2-ish range. I mean, it's just tough to gauge, but it depends how bad somebody needs Tua, and, that will determine how good of a player that you can get for him. But if nobody needs Tua, then it's gonna be hard to, if somebody has Joe Burrow, they're not gonna give up a wide receiver 2 for Tua, like. Vite Queen said, Bijan seems like such a great person and an amazing running back. He does. He does. He seems like a really good dude. Anthony Richardson as well. He was shaking one of the guy's hands that was holding like the chains. It was a really kind of cool. It was a really cool thing. I don't know if anybody else saw that, but it just made the dude's day. Like his face just lit up. It was pretty cool. Seems so smart and genuine. Seems so smart and genuine. And did you see that he is really good fans with Matthew McConaughey? Yep, yep. Y'all got to watch his history. Yeah, maybe I'll take a look at that. But yeah, Bijan was always a good dude. I mean, I followed him when he was in college, and you can just see the type of things that he posts and the type of person that he is. So yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Actually, I'm kind of iffy on trading for AJ Brown with Garrett and Mostert. Why? Only because I have Go Dirt. Bro, you don't not get AJ Brown because you have Go Dirt. I don't care. Who cares if you got Go Dirt? If you don't like Go Dirt, get rid of Go Dirt. You're keeping AJ Brown. I mean, Go Dirt gave you a donut, and you want to talk about I don't want AJ Brown because I got Go Dirt. No, it's the opposite, bro. Even if you have both of those guys, like that's still fine. I mean, Goddard's going to be hit or miss. He's on an offense that doesn't pass the ball as much as you'd like them to. They're more of a rushing team. They've got a lot of weapons there. AJ Brown, Devonta Smith. So, definitely go get AJ Brown. And if you don't like Goddard, then now we can adjust. Now let's trade Goddard for something else. That's all. I mean, it's an 8-man league. You need the hammers. Garrett Wilson and Mostert are not going to do anything for you in an 8-man league. You're not going to win with that. So you definitely need AJ Brown, Caddy. Come on. You know the deal, Caddy. You know what to do, bro. Go get AJ. Goose said, thoughts on Ertz getting 10 targets. Yeah, I didn't expect that. Somebody asked me about Ertz before the game. I was like, I don't know if we can trust Ertz. I don't know if we can trust Ertz. So, yeah, I mean, he's a viable tight end. I mean, again, the tight end position, if you don't have a top 3 guy, you can have any tight end, and they're pretty much the same. There's not much of a difference throughout the whole season between these guys as what they finish with, averaging per game. So is the 10 targets nice? Yes. But is that a good team that's going to be, in the red zone a lot and get a lot of opportunities to score touchdowns? No. So how valuable really are those 10 targets? That's really kind of what you got to ask yourself. Or is it better to kind of have one of these touchdown tight end guys? So, I'm okay if you got to play Zach Ertz, but he's just kind of is what he is. He's just like the rest of these guys out there. They're all the same almost, unfortunately. So, what are your thoughts on Kendre Miller for Dynasty? I love me some Kendre Miller. He's a good buy low guy, especially right now that he's injured. Kamara's about to come back. The thing with Kendre is it might take a little bit more time. Roshan might get there sooner, but Kendre might take a little bit of more time. Because they do have Kamara. So interesting to see what they're going to do next year. With Jamal, and I know he has the contract, but they can get out of that. Same thing with Kamara. So I think he's good enough to be a kind of a guy for the future. And he can pretty much do it all too. He can catch the football, he can run the football. So I do like Kendrick Miller. Just kind of got to stash him for now. Just got to stash him for now and wait. Just got to be patient. That's all. Just got to be patient. SXP, what is good, brother? What's up, Steve? You've been hard week watching Garrett Wilson. Oh man, it's tough. If you can get off of him for a good amount, then do it. Whether it's Dynasty or Redraft, it's just tough, especially in Dynasty. I mean, in one of my leagues, I have Garrett Wilson, and guy offered me Stephon Diggs, and I'm like, oh shit! Like, do I take this deal? Like, I'm in contention, so do I take it? Do I not take it? It's tough. It's real tough. So I think depending what you can get, if you can tier down, like can you get a like a Devonta Smith or a T Higgins and a first, a Devonta Smith and a first, or even a second maybe at this point. I'd rather have the first, but otherwise I'd probably just hold on to him. But if you can get a first and like any one of those guys, like I think I'd like to do that if you could. Otherwise, then you can just hold them if you're not gonna get what you want there. I have currently Brees, Mostert, and both of these guys are playing teams with great defenses, and James Cook. So I think you got to almost play James Cook. I'd probably go Brees and James Cook. I know they're going against a good defense, but Brees. Um, and Mostert is a little bit banged up, so I think I like Brees and Cook there. Stephen Joe, Alfred Walker, and Mike Evans. Sorry, my bad. Alfred Walker and Mike Evans, and give away Gibbs and Roshan Johnson. So you get Walker and you get Mike Evans. You give away Gibbs. You give away Roshan Johnson. What do you think? Half PPR? No, no. I don't think so. I'd rather have Gibbs than Walker. And I'd probably rather have Roshan. Mike Evans is replaceable. You can go out and get a Mike Evans without having to give up both of those guys, Gibbs and Roshan. If you want to give up Roshan to get a Mike Evans or somebody in that tier, then that's fine. But I don't want to give away Gibbs unless you're getting some kind of stud wide receiver. Mike Evans, I don't think is that this year. I think he's going to be fine. He's going to be okay, but I'm not willing to give away Gibbs and Roshan for that. So I would say keep Gibbs and Roshan and go get a wide receiver if you need, but don't give up both of those guys. I think if Hurst can be a consistent tight end, I'm fine with giving Goddard to someone hurting that tight end. Maybe I could end up with an even better receiver. Yeah, just take advantage of it. I mean, that's all. You roll with Hurst or whoever else you can, or you plug and play the tight end, whatever you want to do. And see if you can give up Goddard and get you something that helps you somewhere else. Using a tier up somewhere because just the name is going to bring appeal. So take advantage of the value and get what you need to. Playing the guy who has Hurts looks like the AJ Brown and Goddard combo might not be as bad. Yeah, that's true for this week. That's true for this week. Is Elijah Mitchell only a handcuff now? I think so. Last year, I mean, he did get a bunch of work. He got 5 carries in this game, so didn't get a ton. After they did say they wanted to, give CMC a little bit of breathing room. Going against the Rams this week, does he get more work? Are they up? I mean, so yeah, he's a handcuff. We can't play him until further notice until he starts really getting more work, if he even does. He's one that can't stay healthy though either. So for now, yeah, for now he is absolutely just a handcuff right now. That sheep gave me Mike Williams for Khalil Herbert. Fuck yeah, Ty. That's what I'm talking about, baby. That's what I'm talking about. That's and I've always been off of Herbert. The whole off season, I'm not getting into the Khalil Herbert shares. Then Roshan goes over there. It's just a three-headed backfield right now. Everybody wanted Herbert to be the guy because of what he did when Monty wasn't there, but he was never good enough to really eat into Monty's role. And what you do in just a few games, doesn't mean you can do that over the whole season or what they expect you to do. So the Bears obviously never saw Khalil Herbert in a 3-down back kind of way. And so, yeah, give me Mike Williams there. Send 3 trades for Lamb, AJ, and Ridley. Okay, there you go. There you go. Pray. So there you go. Bike Queen's praying for you. We praying. We praying. Would you do the same trade, but instead of Evans, trade for Devontae Smith? Devontae Smith for what was it? For Gibbs and Roshan? If you need a wide receiver, then yeah. If you've got the running backs to, support your team, then I guess I'd be okay with it if you really need a wide receiver. But I really don't want to give up Gibbs unless I really need to. So I'm interested to see what like the rest of your team looks like. And what exactly you're trying to do. Are you just trying to upgrade at wide receiver? Is that what you're trying to do? Richard, what's up, Richard? Najee's on the way. How is Najee on the waiver wire? Should I attempt to get by dropping Rashard White? Yeah, absolutely. Rashard White, no way. You want Najee over Rashard White for sure. Definitely, Richard. Go out and do that quick. Fuck yeah, rob that bozo. That's what I'm talking about. That's what we do, Ty. That's what we do. We get shit done. We get shit done. Browns or Ravens D this week. Let me take a look at the who they playing. Browns have got the Steelers. Ravens got the Bengals. Whew. Honestly, I'll probably go with the Browns here. They played good against the Bengals last week. Ravens defense is good, but I expect Joe Burrow to bounce back. So give me the Browns with no Deontay Johnson. I don't see like the Steelers as having like this crazy high upside or like potential to score a shit ton of points. So I think that'll be a relatively close game. And maybe I don't know about low scoring, but possibly low scoring. But yeah, give me the Browns, man. Puka versus San Fran, Addison versus Philly, Dotson versus Denver. It's not Dotson. Addison's very interesting because Bradbury's out, and JJ will see the attention. Hawkinson will see the attention. Good chance for Addison to score a touchdown or something. Puka, there's obviously nobody else on the Rams. This guy just commanded 15 targets, and if there's one place to beat San Fran, it would be in the secondary. So only problem is that they score touchdowns. Like Addison's got like touchdown upside. Puka, it's hard to not play Puka after a 15 target game. You know, so give me Puka while it lasts. I mean, what'd you pick him up for, right? To not play him, you got to roll with Puka if you got him. I think you got to roll with Puka. That's how we play. That's right, Ty. Yeah, I don't know what that's about. Najee on waivers. I'm not sure if this is the 4-man, 6-man league. I mean, this is the grandma league, the nursing home league. But yeah, Najee should definitely not be on waivers. I don't know how you have Rashard White, but that's all right. That's all right. Just go pick up Najee and you'll be fine, man. Time is money, baby. What grandma league you in, cat? That's all right though. We help everybody, no matter how deep, no matter how deep or how shallow the league is. We'll help you out here. So appreciate you for coming in. And yeah, just go get Najee for sure. Drop Rashard White's bum ass and go get Najee. Who had the Dallas D? Yeah, man. Whoever had Dallas D 1 weeks for sure. So Josh Reynolds a viable wide receiver 3. I want to say, yeah, I mean, I want to say more wide receiver 4. I don't want to I would rather him be a wide receiver 4 for me than my wide receiver 3, but if you have to play him, then yeah, he is obviously the clear number 2 there behind St. Brown. So yeah, give me some Josh Reynolds, but more in the wide receiver 4-ish, kind of ish range. Just traded Addison. What's up, Tebow? Just traded Addison from Mike Williams and Gus Edwards. Who won? Traded Addison from Mike Williams and Gus Edwards. I don't think Gus Edwards means anything in this trade, really. He's kind of just a body because he'll be splitting carries with Justice Hill. I don't know who the guy is going to be. I do like Mike Williams. Problem is he can't stay healthy. And Addison is really good on a high-powered offense. So if you were if the gods were to tell me that Mike Williams would be healthy all season, then I'm taking Mike Williams' side. But I just feel like the chances of that are extremely slim. We've seen over and over and over again. So I feel like I might want to have Addison. So it depends how you feel. If you trust in Mike Williams, this is basically Addison for Mike Williams. Gus Edwards just doesn't even count in this deal. So if you trust Mike Williams to stay healthy, then go with Mike Williams. If you don't, like I don't, then I'd probably stick with Addison. But that's a tough one. That's a tough one, Tebow. Vite Queen said Philly always so hard on Minnesota. Yeah, yeah. But we got nothing to do but throw the ball. So and Bradbury out, I think Addison might be okay. Who said he has the big D? Caddy had Dallas D and still lost. How do you have Dallas D and still lose? Oh, Josh Allen, bro. In one of my super flex leagues, I had Josh Allen and Joe Burrow, and somehow lost this matchup. Crazy. SXP said, "Am I crazy to take Richardson over Bryson Stroud? Rest of career in Dynasty?" No, you're not crazy at all. I think that's the right move. Especially now that we've saw him, kind of play. But he's got to now, get better and he's got to start winning, right? I mean, Justin Fields is great, but if he doesn't start winning and doesn't stop turning the ball over, I mean, at what point does the franchise say, listen, you're a great athlete, but you're not helping us win? So feel like I've seen enough so early. He'll be the only one capable of a top 10. Yeah, I think he's definitely be capable of a top 10 season, for sure, for sure. So listen, I took A Rich at the 102 in a league. So I had Bryce over Richardson at first, but then once we actually got to like the draft time, I couldn't help it any longer. Because just the upside is there. He doesn't have to be that good throwing the football, but if he's running the football a little bit and able to sling it, I mean, Vikes in primetime at Philly's a bad recipe, so they'll probably surprise us with a win. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. We need a win here. We need a win here, especially after last week. Let's go into Philly and surprise them. Let's fucking upset them. I think Tucker could overtake White this year, RB1 in Tampa. I've loved Tucker all throughout the offseason. Unfortunately, he had like the heart issue and wasn't able to perform in the combine, so he went undrafted. But Tampa gave him a good amount of money to come there. And Rashad White just sucks between the tackles. He just cannot run between the tackles. So I do think eventually that Tucker will start getting more and more burn. And once he starts showing that he can run through the tackles, you might see him, start taking over maybe some of the rushing work. I think White will still be involved. I don't think he totally just goes away. It could be like a split backfield kind of thing. Mhm. Tua or Lamar this week. It's tough to not say Tua after last week. And and Lamar too, what he did last week, it's tough. I think Lamar's better this week. They did rush in 3 touchdowns last week. If he would have threw those in, or if he would have rushed those in, we'd be talking differently about Lamar. But how good Tua is and that offense, I think it's hard to not play Tua. So I'm gonna roll with Tua this week again. Until we see Lamar bounce back, because we know Tua's got it. Gaming, it is a road game. Kirko comes out. I'm nervous. Yeah, let's listen. As a Rams fan, I want nothing more than the Niners to get shit on and shut all their fans up. I'm nervous every Vikes game, bro. I'm nervous every time the defense steps on the field. I just don't understand how we didn't put up more points. Like Kirk threw for a ton of yards. I mean, JJ went off, but we can't score touchdowns. So, and have a rookie running back ranking for Dynasty. I don't, but it would be for this particular year. Yeah, I mean Bijan, Gibbs. Let me see if I can pull up my my old one. I haven't updated that. Shit, I don't even got it open right now. Let me see if I could go back to my. See if I go to rookie draft real quick just to see all the different guys, and I'll give you a. I'll give you a quick rundown. All right, so Bijan, Gibbs, Sharps. All right, so Bijan and Gibbs is obviously 1 and 2, and then I had Charbonnet, Roshan, Kendre, Tank, and then A Chain. I'm not a huge A Chain guy, but that's kind of the way that I was looking at it, and still basically do. Maybe you put Roshan ahead of Charbonnet, just because of the opportunity that he has. Kendre Miller is a close one, but he hasn't been able to, show that he can take over yet, and he's injured as well. So that's kind of the way that I see it, Marty. 3 turnovers. I know. I know. I know. That's got to stop. But if we're airing it out, fuck it. But yeah, we got to be better. It's just this bullshit that we lost, man. Yeah, Bijan looked awesome. Bijan looked awesome in the preseason. We knew what Bijan was going to be. Tua easy, George. Tua easy. Fields has got to prove something. He's got to show. He's got to be better. Tua is just a safer, almost better option. You can say. I mean, I guess you could say Fields is decently safe with the rushing upside, but he's gonna come back to life here. But give me Tua, who just had a fucking day. We'll roll with Tua until otherwise. Appreciate you, George. Smash that like for me, guys. Smash that subscribe if you're new. Hopefully you're enjoying everything here. Drop any questions you have in the chat, whether it be redraft, dynasty, my ideas or my takes on something or whatever it is. Just throw it in the chat there, and I will get to it. He looks slippery as hell. Yeah, he does. Fields deserves a better team. I mean, he's got DJ Moore now. He's got Mooney. He's got Komet. Um, he's got a few running backs, but the problem with Fields is that he turns it over too much, and he's just not throwing the ball like really well. I think they've really got to focus on trying to get DJ Moore the ball more and getting those playmakers more involved. I think that will help them a lot more. Tempest, Jamal Williams, or Nakua in the we're going Puka, man. Yeah, Jamal 1 week. Doesn't matter if he's only running back there. They just no, we're going Puka for sure. I mean, 15 targets. I don't care if it's a San Fran D. The defensive backs is kind of like that one area where you can try and get them at. So give me the guy that's going to get a ton of targets with Cooper Kupp injured. So hell yeah, hell yeah. Should I have Tucker or Chase Brown on my taxi? I'd like to have both. There's got to be something. It's got to be someone else you can drop to take both of those guys. Um, I like both of them. Tucker doesn't have the draft capital, but he did get paid to be there, so it's interesting. What I like about Chase Brown is that the team that he's on, the offense that he's in, the opportunity that he could have if Mixon were to go down. So I kind of lean Chase Brown. If you have to choose one or the other, I'd choose Chase Brown. Or it's just a lot lower percentage. Start one at flex: Sanders, Evans, Jamal. I think where's Sanders at? Panthers. So they're going against the Saints, which is a pretty good defense. It's definitely not Jamal. It might have to be Mike Evans here. Who are they going against? Mike Evans. Where is he? Where is he? Bucks. They play the Bears. Yeah, it's Mike Evans here for me. Give me Mike Evans against that Bears defense. SXP said he's not sold on Fields. I'm not either. I think for fantasy, he's fine. But the problem is, like in real life, I don't know if the Bears are even sold on him. They were even talking about, taking a QB possibly last year before they traded the pick. So I'll take A Rich over him. Feel his value will leapfrog in year one, dynasty wise. Well, I mean, I don't know how much more A Rich can go up higher. Like he was already at the end of the first round. He was going already after, the Lamar Jacksons and Deshaun Watsons. Like, I don't know if he can get over those guys. Could you make the argument for it? Yeah, but those guys are like established guys that are going to give you good work. Which A Rich, of course, can, but it's still a risk. So, would you rather have one of those guys, or would you rather have A Rich? Like, where does it stop for you? Um, Fields that's a question between Fields or A Rich for sure, because they kind of both got to be out there to prove themselves. But yeah, how high are you going with A Rich? Would you say? At what point do you stop? Is it Lamar? Is it Watson? Um, or does it go higher than that, like a Herbert, T Law? How feels like Jordan Love show him up? I don't understand. I know, right? I know. I was excited for that game too. In one league, I have Cup. I managed to get Puka. Should I trade Cup or just wait it out? Other wide receivers are Olave and Higgins. This is redraft, right? So you have Cup. You managed to get Puka, so you should feel safe with at least Puka. Or you should feel safe. You at least have one target hog. If one of those, if Cup comes back, you have Cup. If Cup doesn't come back, or if he comes back and gets hurt, you still got Puka, so you're still in good shape. You got Olave and you have Higgins, so I think you're fine. I think you're fine, unless you can get another top wide receiver. Then I just stay where you're at, but shop around and see what you can get. If you're not getting what you want, then just relax and chill. You don't have to make the trade, but just inquire, see what's out there. I love that Love showed him up. Yep. Yep. As a Minnesota fan, yeah. Brees Hall, Zay Flowers in PPR. Ooh, wow. That's tough. Mhm. Zay Flowers against the Bengals. Brace against the Cowboys. Let's go with Flowers just in case this kind of turns into a blowout and they just, rest Brees after a while. Let's roll with Flowers in the PPR, you know. Love has something. Listen, he played great, but you know what's crazy? You know that he had a lower PFF grade than Justin Fields? Is that something? In week 1, which I thought was very interesting. But I think Love's going to be decent. We'll see what happens this week. See what happens this week. Dylan, what's up, Dylan? I'm looking to make a move. Wide receiver depth is Chase, Brown, Ridley, and Hopkins. Running backs are Mostert, Connor. Who would you trade out of those wide receivers, and who should I expect to get out of it? Full PPR. I'm not moving Chase, AJ Brown, or Ridley, so those guys are going to be stuck there. We're not moving any of those guys. D Hop would be the guy to trade, if any. What you can realistically get from, I don't know, probably some kind of RB2. Let's see. Hopkins? I don't know. Maybe like you're not getting the ETN or any of those guys, right? So what does that leave you with? D Hop. Can you get a Brees Hall? Like, did you say you're looking for RB? Like, yeah, do you want RB? I'm guessing right now with Mostert and Wilson. I mean, you could just roll with D Hop and just plug and play whatever running backs are out there. As well. But any kind of RB2, probably. I don't think you're getting any kind of RB1 with D Hop unless there's like a D Hop lover in your league. I don't know. Ramondre Stevenson, Miles Sanders, like Madison, Monty. Like if you just want a running back just to have, it just depends how people really view D Hop in that league. So what I like to do, which instead of picking out a particular, a particular player, I like to just look at the different teams, right? Okay, who needs a wide receiver that I can help right now? And then whatever running backs they have, that's who, that's one of the guys that you go after. So because the trade's got to make sense for both sides, right? That team that's trading away whatever you want has to want something or need something that you have. So you've got to somehow make it work. So I like, approaching it that way instead of going after sometimes specific players. Look at the different teams and then kind of attack from there. Mm. David said 10 team half PPR. Waddle, Olave, Aaron Jones, Monty, Kelsey, Zay Flowers, Kyron Hill, Doob. Should I trade Kelsey for Chubb? Should I trade Kelsey for Chubb? No, I don't want to trade Kelsey for Chubb. If you got Kelsey, he's making up for a lot. So I'm not going to trade Kelsey for Chubb. I want to hold on to Kelsey if you've got Kelsey because that's just such an advantage and that helps you, if you're weak at another position. So if you're weak at running back, like Kelsey's helping you out with that, especially in a 10 team. I mean, yeah, you need the hammer there. How legit do you think the Cowboys are? Feel the NFC comes down to the Niners, Eagles, boys. Yeah, I mean, listen, the Cowboys they've always kind of been legit. They just kind of fold. They just somehow fold or can't pull it through eventually. So I think they're good defensively, they're good offensively. So, they definitely got a chance to make it far. It's just a matter of, are they gonna pull it together when it matters, under pressure when they really need to? So Lucius, what's up, Lucius? What's your thoughts on Josh Reynolds? Thanks in advance. No problem, man. He is the wide receiver 2 on the Lions, so I think he's a good pickup. Wide receiver 4-ish. Fill in for you on bye weeks, maybe a flex play in deep leagues. But yeah, I like him fine until JMO comes back. That's when things might get a little bit bumpy or a little bit tricky. So Purdy versus the Rams or Goff versus Seattle. I think Purdy is probably the safer play where, he's going to give you his like little 2 tutties, 200 yards, where Goff probably has some more upside. He can give you, 3, 4 touchdowns, 300 yards against Seattle. So if you want the upside, you go with Goff. If you want to play it safe, you go with Purdy. PFF is crazy. Yeah. A lot of good info, stuff there though. So I was thinking package Mostert and Hopkins for a Javante kind of guy. Yeah, you can do that. You can do that. I don't know how much Javante is going to be involved. I think he does get more involved as the season goes on, but if that's all you can get, then yeah, I'll take Javante because he's basically like an RB2, but he's got that RB1 upside if he really starts getting the work. So Mostert can never stay healthy. And Hopkins, Hopkins is Hopkins. True. Yeah, no problem, Dylan. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Talk about your situation, in the subscriber league. How should you handle it when people are in your situation? What's your process? Yeah, I'm currently going through the situation. We might have some people on here in our league that is working. I talked about it, I think, a little bit earlier on the stream. I think. But yeah, I mean, Aaron Rodgers in a super flex league, if he's your QB2 and he goes down, you've got, decisions to make, right? Unfortunately, in my situation, I don't have my first round pick, which is something that you should not do. So now I've got to decide whether I want to go, spend up, maybe get my first round pick back, or how do I start breaking it down? Do I tear down a little bit? Do I spend up on a QB, or do I just fill the QB position and try and gut it out from there? So I definitely have a few different options to choose. I'm not sure how exactly I'm going to handle it yet. I may wait a little bit. I might even have to wait a week. I play somebody this week that has Garoppolo and Baker on the bench. They don't want to give me anybody for this week, which makes sense. Maybe I could work something out next week. Maybe I keep the team I have and go forward. So I'm still trying to decide on what to do there. Or Garrett Wilson, right? Do I trade him? Right? Do I try and trade him to a team that's not winning and maybe get a win now kind of player? Um, like a Stephon Diggs or something. I think I was offered like a Diggs for Zach Wilson almost straight up. But I still need to find a QB even if I do that. So it's a tough situation that I'm in, but there's different ways to navigate it. It's going to depend on your team obviously and your situation and if you have your first or not. If you have your first, you could kind of punt the position, maybe down tier a little bit at some of your positions, pick up some assets, and then kind of load up next year. So there's definitely a couple of different ways that you can do it. Or I could buy my first back and pay a tax, like Diaz is trying to get me to do, and almost basically start over a little bit. Dylan said 100% smart. Um, SXP, how are you feeling about the matchup tomorrow night? Big game for your Vikes. JJ gonna need 20 targets. Yeah, I mean, I think with Bradbury out, we're gonna throw the ball a ton. It's just a matter of, are we gonna score touchdowns? Are we gonna score points? Are we gonna not turn the ball over? Those are the biggest things. Can we not turn the ball over, and can we actually score touchdowns? I mean, Justin Jefferson he goes off, but he doesn't score a damn touchdown. We need to score. We need to score. So full PPR. Dylan said A-Rich and Gino, Pollard, Cook, Mostert, Herbert, Diggs, Nuke, MT, and Hollywood. Andrews likely. Any trades? Who? Nobody went off. Somebody have to wait another week to sell high on anyone. A-Rich and Gino, Pollard, Cook, Mostert, Diggs, Nuke. Those wide receivers are rough after Diggs. You do have Andrews though. Somebody went off. How many starters is this? Is this like, a standard like two running back, two wide receiver, and one flex, or is this two flexes? If you can trade A-Rich and roll with Gino, I mean, I know it's probably one QB, so it might be a little tough, but if you can trade A-Rich and roll with Gino and get another wide receiver, I mean, I would try and combine anything you can here. Michael Thomas, Hollywood, Michael Thomas, and D Hop, or do you just come off of Andrews? You come off of Andrews and play the waiver wire at tight end, and go out and get yourself a wide receiver. Maybe that might be even that might even be a good bet, Dylan. Cactopus, what up, Cactopus? Appreciate you guys tuning in here. Vanilla Gorilla, how do you feel about Jones and Kendrick Bourne for Ramondre and Swift? 10-man super flex, full PPR. Um, I think I like Ramondre here. I mean, if it's 10-man, Kendrick Bourne doesn't really mean anything. Swift really can't trust. So really, it's like Aaron Jones or Ramondre. Who do you want better? So who do you trust more? Who do you want more? Aaron Jones obviously just went off. Then came down with a hammy. He is an older running back, so does the hammy linger on? He said he was okay. He could have came back in the game, so I might lean the Ramondre side and the Swift because you could probably move Swift for something as well. Take advantage of that hype. So give me the Ramondre Swift. Give me the Ramondre Swift side there. Do you think it's safe to drop Elijah Mitchell in a 14-man PPR running back is weak? Henry, Pacheco, Gainwell, Bigsby. I think I need a higher upside running back that has a greater chance of actually playing. I mean, what running backs are out there? You're going to drop them for who? I mean, having the backup running back is pretty important. Like if CMC goes down, then you have the next guy up. You have the next guy up. So having those guys are important. Like if you dropped them, who would you be getting? That would be the other. Like who's on waivers, so we can decide, whether to keep him or whether to pick up somebody else. You know, any waiver QBs to keep in mind in case a starter QB goes out this week. For one QB or let's see, waiver wire QBs for this week. Waiver wire QBs for this week will be a Purdy. I mean, maybe Daniel. If you believe in Daniel Jones, it's hard to play him after what happened. After what happened last week, it's for sure hard to do that. Mac Jones against the Dolphins, I like that. I like that for sure. Derek Carr against the Panthers, you could say even as well. What else is out there? Geno against the Lions. I mean, that could be a possible high scoring game. Uh, That's probably about it. You could probably trust Love again too, but the Falcons were pretty good on D. Most serious is a Jones hammy. I mean, let me see if they've updated anything. Only well, he sat out Wednesday's practice, which would be normal if he tweaked it. Yeah, like he came out of the game after that touchdown that he had. Um, they said they're gonna let going to give it the course of the week before we make any determination on him. He said that he was okay and he could have came back in the game if they needed him to. But again, an older player with a hammy at the running back position, that's something that could possibly linger on. So I don't think it's that serious since he said he would have been able to come back in the game. But I guess we'll see this week if he winds up playing or not. So we'll see. Oh damn! All these questions got doubled and tripled up. My bad, y'all. Let me find where I'm at. Let's find out where I'm at. Here we go. My bad. Lucius, as a follow up to the last question, start Reynolds or Justice Hill this weekend. Oof, I'll start Reynolds. I don't trust Justice Hill yet. They're going to be splitting the carries. I just don't know. If you want to go for the touchdown upside, like yeah, Justice Hill can have that, but the Lions, where they at? Yeah, they play the Seahawks. But yeah, give me Reynolds. Give me the number two on that offense. I think we should wait and see what happens with Hill and Gus. Addison's gonna eat. I can see that. No Bradbury, don't forget. So let's go. Let's go. Hawk will get it in. We need a big win, guys. We need a big win. Bite Queen, Dylan, we need a big win. I'm biased for Flowers because I'm from Baltimore. But those two guys, my favorite wide receiver out of the draft. Yeah, Flowers was awesome. I liked the spot that Flowers went to. A lot of people didn't like it after the draft, but on a team that doesn't have a real wide receiver one, I'll take Flowers easily. I mean, Bateman can't stay healthy. OBJ's a little bit older now, but he's shown basically already that he's going to be, he should be the guy. They've got at least 4 years together. rookie contract coming in. So it's good to see that he can try and build with somebody. Considering tomorrow's Thursday, yeah. If I was looked at the first diamond at wide receiver we've ever drafted, wanted him or Addison in the draft. Yeah, I thought they were going to take either him or Addison for sure. For sure. Matt, what's up, Matt? Offered Garrett Wilson for D Hop. You want Garrett Wilson or you want D Hop? It's a tough one. Both QB situations are bad. I wasn't on D Hop, but he's still D Hop. I mean, I feel like Garrett Wilson is a like back end wide receiver too. Um Tannenhill played horrible. Like, does Tannenhill wind up finishing the season, or do they wind up using somebody else? Like, I think I still want to lean Garrett Wilson. I don't know if that's crazy or not. Let me know who are the best handcuffs right now. I got Spears at the moment with no Henry. We need backup running back that's on one of the rosters. I mean, the Bigsbys, the Roshans, the Jerome Fords, the Keontae Ingrams, the Elijah Mitchells. Any one of those. Any backup really is a good one to have. Been picking up Teddy Bridgewater, Teddy Two Gloves, Teddy Two Gloves. If golf goes down, yeah, I feel you. There goes Catch. What up, Catch? Doing the Purdy. Well, now that this shit happened to me, I'm looking at all backup quarterbacks. I'm like, oh shit, the Vikings, fucking Nick Mullins. Let me fucking pick him up just in case Kirk goes down. I'm like, oh, bro. Leading up to the season and so far this year has so many good rookies, in my opinion. Yeah, and some of it happens. Some of it happens right away. Some of it happens because of injuries, right? With the teams that they go to. So and some of these guys last, some of these guys don't, right? But the first round picks, Quentin Johnson didn't play as much. Even Addison didn't play as much as you would wanted him to in that first game. But yeah, we back, maybe. We back. Fight Queen said, "You're doing great, and thanks so much." Oh, appreciate you, Fight Queen. Appreciate you a lot. Appreciate you for coming in. Come in more often. I'm here just about every night. Thanks for the content, bro. Appreciate you, Matt. Well, I'll be out here just about every night, except for maybe the game nights, but maybe I'll hop on after. SXP said, Addison's so nice. Crazy to see the NFL wide receiver slowly transition to silky smooth route runners, smaller guys. Yeah, because these guys can run routes and get open. They create separation. And when you have elite QBs that can really throw the football, I mean, you can't stop these guys. You can't stop these guys. We saw it with Antonio Brown, you know, years ago. And yeah, some of those big boys can't separate. That's true. Some of those big boys can't, you know, which is what I've been saying about George Pickens a little bit. But we'll see how that turns out. Dylan, what's up, Dylan? Appreciate you for tuning in, man. How you doing out there? I'm about to, get off. Shit, it's already 12:30. I've been on for a minute. But yeah, about to get off here in the next few minutes. So I'll give you guys a few minutes or so to kind of drop in any last questions that you have. Appreciate everybody for coming out. Make sure you guys hit that like for me, hit that subscribe if you're new and you're enjoying the content. But yeah, I'll give y'all guys another minute to throw any questions out there, and then otherwise, I will. Tomorrow's Thursday, so we got the game. I may or may not hop on after the game tomorrow, or I might be on for the game tomorrow with 420 Fantasy Hustler Network. We have a show there once a week that we do on our, we have it on our channel as well. But I might be hanging out with those guys tomorrow, so you can come through and follow us through over there. But Oliver said pick two to start: Damian Pierce, James Cook, Rashard White. I hate Rashard White. Definitely James Cook. Let me just check out White's They're playing the Bears, so I just don't trust Damian Pierce. I want to say Cook and Pierce. Let's see what the Texans got the Colts. I don't trust White, but he's the only guy there. Like that's a tough part about it. So going against the Bears, he got a ton of opportunities. Give me White and Cook over Pierce. Give me White and Cook. XXP said, "You're a soldier, man. You're staying up late, never goes unnoticed. Appreciate you, SXP. Appreciate you a lot. Appreciate all y'all. I mean, that's what I do it for. I have fun doing it. I enjoy, I enjoy doing it. So appreciate you guys a lot. What do you think about Kadarius Phoney? I think that he's still going to have an opportunity. I think that he's a very injury-prone type of guy, but he's going to get another opportunity. They have nobody else there. I mean, for me, it's Sky Moore. I like Sky Moore out of all the guys there. I think Rashid Rice will have a good opportunity if Kadarius Toney or Sky Moore don't step their shit up, or if Tony doesn't stay healthy. But Darius Toney is more of a gadget kind of wide receiver than he is a pure like wide receiver and route runner. It's more of get the ball in Kadarius Toney's hands and let him do what he does. So I'm not messing with Kadarius Toney. I have him on a squad. You kind of just have to hold him. I mean, no point in selling him. You're getting absolutely nothing for him. So you might as well hold him. But we'll see what happens in the coming weeks. We'll see what happens when Kelsey comes back and helps kind of open up that offense, takes the pressure off of everybody, opens up some lanes. So we'll see what happens there. We'll see what happens, man. Bite Queen said, no nay. No nay about what? But yeah, appreciate you guys. I'm about to dip up out of here. I'll see y'all tomorrow night. If anything, if not Friday night for sure. We'll be here just about the same time, 10-ish, 10 o'clock Eastern, 10:15-ish, give or take. Tony, Tony, Noni. I get it now. Oh man. I don't think I missed anybody's questions, but yeah, appreciate everybody that came out. Vite Queen, Dylan, SXP, Oliver, Matt, Ty, Diaz, Dylan, Lucius, Cactopus, Vanilla Gorilla, David, Akiro, Caddy, of course, always coming through. Goose, George, Marty, of course. See if I'm missing anybody. Tebow came through. Appreciate you, man. Ty was up in here. Stephen Joe, just a random kid. Appreciate all of y'all for tuning in. Hopefully, I didn't miss anybody. If I did, my bad. But let's get up out of here. Appreciate y'all.